Have you ever met a Regina George? Do you know what I'm talking about? Have you ever seen Mean Girls? We're going to be talking about Mean Girls today and how maybe you can use this to change the freaking world. My name is Ashley Latimer, and if you feel alone, stuck, or left behind by your entrepreneur spouse, don't worry, I've got you. I've been an entrepreneur wife for the last 15 years, a supportive entrepreneur wife for the last 10, and an on-fire entrepreneur wife for the last 5 years. But let's talk about the Mean Girls. Now, I don't know how this happened in our society, but somehow when women started to get empowered, we just started to tear people down. And I'm like really kind of sick and tired of it, to be honest, because I am for women empowerment, but I'm not a feminist because I think feminism has really been hijacked. We want empowerment for women, but for some reason we think that's to bash men. And I'll be honest, some of the feminists I know, they actually like to bash women too. And they like to say it in passive-aggressive, mean comments like Mean Girls. I see you, Regina George. I see you out there, everybody. And if you haven't seen Mean Girls, that just totally dates how old I am. Yes, that's how old I am, just so you know. I'm almost a boomer, but I'm not really. I'm a millennial, Gen X. I don't know what I am, but let's just talk about the Mean Girls. I was recently at a conference, and when I walked up to somebody, this woman who is supposed to be for the women empowerment, loves women that look and act like her. That look and act like her frame of life. If you are not for the stay-at-home mom and the CEO, you're not for women. You're only for CEOs. If you're not for the stay-at-home mom and the CEO, like what? You're not for women. Women are in all of these roles, and we need to be the loudest clapper and cheerers for women. And men are not going to know how to do that unless we start first, ladies. You cannot be making backhanded comments and your demeanor and your positioning and your face. If you got some RBF, you just need to practice on not having RBF, everybody. Like, that's a sickness, okay? That's not going to help the cause. And now some people, they have it. Now, sometimes I've had it, and I'm like, oh, have you ever had to say, Jesus, catch my face? Because your face is like saying 1,000 words that you don't really want to say. That's called being in control of you and up-leveling you. So maybe you need to up-level your RBF. I don't know. Maybe you need to up-level not saying something awful. Like, don't say the first thing that comes to your mind. Use a filter, everybody. Let's learn how to love people well. But I'll tell you, I walked up to this room, and walked into this room of people, and there was one woman and men. And she says to me instantly, "Why are you here? You look tired." I'm sorry. The only person who's allowed to say that to me is my BFF. Of all times. And that's usually, and she wouldn't even say it like that, everybody. What she would say is, "Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you're here. I didn't know you were going to be here. Bring it in, sister. Oh my gosh, you look so tired because you have been in hustle and grind mode so long. I can just tell. Oh my gosh, what do you need?" My BFF would have provided a solution. That's the difference. She would have said, "Oh, I see you." And she would have had compassion instead of saying, "Hey, I'm threatened by you." Which actually I'm going to say, "Why, thank you so much. Have you seen?" Basically she was saying, she didn't tell me that last year because guess what? I wasn't growing last year. This year I've had the hardest year of my life that I've had to grow and up-level my skills, my ability. And you know what? I'm growing. And I think she did not grow as fast as I've been growing, and she was threatened by that. So actually, it was a compliment because I think we can learn something from Mean Girls. I actually think that Mean Girls might be insecurity. It might be trauma. There are a lot of things. So we can't solve it with one solution. But the way that we show up in the world is how we combat Mean Girls. The way we love other people. The way that we are bold when we love other people. And the way that when people respond, it doesn't hurt our feelings. It's more about them. So what I would say is if you are attacked by a mean girl and she says something really awful, you have to realize that it's probably coming from a really broken, threatened place, a jealous place, a sad place, a hard place. And you have to realize that it's not about you, that it's bouncing off of you, which is hard, especially as women, when we love to be loved and needed and adored and all of these things. And we love to have these relationships with women. But sometimes relationships with women aren't safe. But I'm actually going to tell you to do the opposite. I'm actually going to tell you that there's room and space for us to love Regina Georges, but us to love them in a place where it doesn't affect us. We have to up-level so much that we become better people and their words don't affect us. Now, I am still the person who words affect, and it hurts my feelings. But I'm also learning that when I start to hear these words, it's more about them than it is about me. And actually, I want to tell that Regina George, thank you, because you are seeing me in my level up. And what you said to me this time, it didn't hurt that bad. Actually, it made me feel a little mama bearish because I thought if you would have said this to one of my unicorns, I would have, like that's how I received it, is if you would have said this to one of my unicorns, how do I give them the tools to handle a Regina? How do I give them tools to go on about their lives? Because they are going to come up against mean girls. And that a unicorn wants to be a champion for men, a champion for women, and a champion for people. And we don't push down people in the unicorn squad. We build them up. And we also build ourselves up. And no matter if anybody grows around us, that we are going to grow as unicorns. And so I want to tell that person thank you. Because last year, you would have annihilated me for at least a month. I would have sat and recalculated what I must have done to you. But I didn't do anything to you. You were threatened because I grew and you didn't. You were threatened me because why are you here? Because you were threatened that I was in the room and I was going to take the attention off of you. But here's the real secret. When you become my friend, I don't try to take the attention off of anybody. I am your biggest clapper, cheerer, want to champion you in all of your avenues in life. So to that person, if you need someone to clap and cheer for you, I still will be your girl. I will have your back because I am not a terror downer. So I think I went all over the place about how to not tear down people, but I do want to tell you my ABCs. Here's my ABCs of clapping and cheering. My ABCs are you need to be aware of other people. Like even the people who have trauma or brokenness, you need to be aware. You need to notice things about their lives and who they are. Then you need to be bold or brave to say something. And C, you need to celebrate them, not tear them down. The other day I was at the gym and someone told me, hey, Ashley, or she didn't even say my name. She didn't even know my name. She was a stranger. She said, oh my goodness, girl, I love that nail color on you. It made me feel so warm in my heart. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's what we need more of in the world. A little comment. She was aware of my nails. She was brave and bold enough to say something and she celebrated me. And guess what? It made me feel real great in my heart. And guess what? Then you go on. I think this positivity breeds positivity and negativity takes off like cancer. So maybe it's just where you need to shut the negativity out of your life. Maybe you need to really work on learning how to clap and cheer for yourself, clap and cheer for others, clap and cheer for your family, your husband, your kids, your community, or just other women. I think if we change this one thing, ladies, we change the world. If you can stop being a mean girl and start loving people well, it literally would change our homes, our marriages, our businesses, our kids, and it would change the world. I believe in women to empower other women. And I'm going to clap and cheer for you. So I would love to know who you are and what your story is, and I would love to clap and cheer for you. So find me on Facebook or YouTube or wherever you're finding me right now, and let's stay connected because I want to hear your story. Your story is important to me, and it's safe with me. I am not a mean girl. And sometimes if I am a mean girl, I'm going to just say, I'm sorry, and I'm learning, and I'm trying to grow me and up-level me. And I believe that you are in the up level too.